everyone, so today I'm going to be making a summer related product. So this is a lightweight summer moisturizer, obviously specifically formulated for those hot summer days. So I don't know about you, but it's really humid where I live. And when it's hot and I'm sweating and it's humid, I'll literally sweat off my moisturizer if it's a heavy moisturizer. So I decided to formulate a moisturizer that is lightweight, absorbs into the skin very easily, and just feels amazing on the skin, and you don't have to worry about it being sweated off on these hot summer days. So I'm going to be formulating a 2-ounce jar of this moisturizer, and here is the formulation. That way you guys can just use this formulation and transfer it to however much you want to make. If you don't know how to transfer a formulation from percents into a weighed out recipe, I'll link down below in my description box to a video where I show you guys exactly how to do that. But like I said, I'm going to be making 2 ounces. So this recipe will be making 2 ounces of moisturizer. So the first key ingredient I want to talk about in this moisturizer is Penstia powder. So this is an awesome, luxurious ingredient that will create a really silky and powdery moisturizer. It helps create more of a roll than a drag when it comes to applying the moisturizer. This stuff is freaking amazing. I highly recommend it for this moisturizer. And the second key ingredient is olive squalane. And the reason why I think this is a crucial ingredient is because it's a non-greasy oil, and it's actually capable of mixing with our sebum that's already present on our skin. So it's an amazing emollient that won't make you feel greasy at all either, because it'll mix with your sebum. So those of you with oily skin, this is a great ingredient to add to your products. So let's just get into the recipe so you can see how this all comes together. Alright, so you want to make sure your digital scale weighs to at 0.01 grams, and we're going to start off with weighing out our water phase. You want to make sure you have a heat-safe container. I personally love these beakers here, and I'll link down below to where I purchased the beakers. And I started with 13 grams of aloe vera liquid, then 13 grams of rose water, 3.25 grams of chamomile water, 7.8 grams of distilled water. Then I added in some propanediol, and I decided to use this as opposed to glycerin because this is a more lightweight humectant as opposed to glycerin. And I used 2.6 grams of the propanediol. Next I added in 1.3 grams of allantoin and then mixed it in. Added in 1.3 grams of panthenol and then mixed the panthenol in. So both of these powders won't dissolve completely until we heat it up, but in the meantime we're going to set it to the side and work on our oil phase. Again, you want to make sure you have a heat-safe container. I'll link these beakers down below along with everything else I used in this video. So I started with 4.5 grams of the olive squalane, and then 4.5 grams of the Rita-Mulsey SCG. And if you guys want a behind the scenes as to why I chose all these ingredients, I actually did a behind the scenes of me formulating this product over on my Patreon. I'll link my Patreon down below. So next, before we heat everything up, you want to take note of how much your water phase weighs because some of it will evaporate when we heat everything up. So create a water bath and cover up your beakers with aluminum foil. Heat both of your phases up to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Hold it there for 20 minutes. And afterwards you want to weigh your water phase again and replace any water that evaporated, and typically it's about less than a gram. So after everything has been heated and held for 20 minutes, go ahead and pour your water phase into your oil phase, never do it the other way around, and immediately blend with a high shear mixer. I'm just using this mini mixer here. I'll link down below to where I purchased it. So after you mix everything together, go ahead and grab your scale again. Put a little barrier in between the scale and your beaker because the heat from the beaker will mess up the scale's weight, and immediately add in your Penstia powder. You want to add this in while it's still hot and still liquid. And I added in 1.95 grams of the Penstia powder and mixed it again with my immersion blender. You want to make sure you're using a high shear blender when blending in the Penstia powder. So once everything has returned to room temperature, it's time for the cool down ingredients. I started with 2.6 grams of Luicidal SF Complete, which is my preservative. I mixed that in. Then I added in 3.25 grams of bamboo extract and mixed that in, 1.3 grams of cucumber extract, mixed that in, 3.25 grams of rosemary extract, mixed that in, and lastly 1.3 grams of hydrolyzed wheat protein and mixed that in. So that is it for my cool down ingredients. Again, if you want more details on this recipe and the benefits of all the ingredients, go check out my Patreon. I'll have it linked down below. I have a blog that goes right along with this recipe. So I went ahead and grabbed my 2-ounce jar and packaged my product into my 2-ounce jar. I'll link down below to where I purchased this jar. And to a similar one that I found over on Amazon. So now it's time to put on our personal label. If you don't know how to personalize your own labels at home, I'll link down below to a video tutorial where I show you guys how I make my labels and how I waterproof them. So as you can see, this is a very light moisturizer. It's not very thick. It's very, I don't want to say watery, but it's a more watery-ish moisturizer. It's very lightweight. It really absorbs into the skin so easily and so quickly, and it leaves that powdery, silky finish thanks to the Pensea powder. It really has a luxurious feel to a moisturizer that you would find from a more expensive moisturizer, and that's what's so amazing about the Pensea powder. So I definitely can say that this moisturizer is great for all skin types. Now if you have like really dry skin that needs something super hydrating like a thick cream, this won't work for you obviously since it's a lightweight product. But I personally have really dry skin and this definitely does it for me. And even if you have like oily, acne prone skin, you don't have to worry about it clogging your pores. So this is great for all skin types, unless like I said you have super dry skin. So now it's time to move on to the Patreon shoutouts. First we have Essence of Nature over on Etsy, at Stardust Bath & Body over on Instagram, Nature's Farm Girl at naturesfarmgirl.com, Kennedy's Essentials at kennedysessentials.net, LettsBlend at letsblend.bigcartel.com, Creative with Love at creativewithlove.me, Trina's Jewelry Box over on Etsy, Wallflower Wildflower at wallflowerwildflower.com, Heartfelt Beauty here on YouTube if you want some more formulating videos, HSB Organics at hsborganics.com, Yellow Hippie Store over on Etsy, I Am Beautia at iambeautia.com, and sugared_pineapple over on Instagram if you want to order some custom made tumblers. So go check out all my lovely patrons. They'll all be linked down in my description box below. Also, if you guys didn't know, I do sell skincare products myself over on Etsy. I'll link my Etsy shop down below and in the corner so you guys can find it easily. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
I'm stuck in the motions. I've been consumed by the wrath of time like I'm frozen. I'm shattered in this life. It's still the path that I've chosen. Because I've had a vision. Now I'm on a mission to find myself with you.